Hi, what's going on, guys? It's another Deep Shot video today, and today I'm going to be talking about a bit more of current events right now as the NBA playoffs second round are going on. And if we would like to go take a look at it, the Timberwolves are down 3-2, the Celtics are up 3-1, the Mavericks and Thunder series is tied, and New York is up 3-2. But today I'm not going to be talking about the second round. I'm going to be talking about the teams that lost in the first round and specifically highlighting 5 of them which I think need to make major off-season changes this year. So let's begin. The first one I want to go for is going to be the Phoenix Suns. I think this is everyone's, I guess, not priority, but everyone knows that this team is falling apart and they have absolutely zero hope for the future, really. Suns, they went all in for KD, Bradley Beal, and Devin Booker, and it failed miserably as they were really exposed for having negative depth. So they couldn't do anything outside of just scoring, and they didn't have a true point guard either, so they couldn't distribute the ball throughout their three superstars, as it was always one of them just taking the ball, scoring, and the other two were standing in the corner doing literally nothing. So they didn't have a good offensive system, nor did they have the depth to win once those three were off the floor. The Suns also lack the issue of having zero draft picks, as they gave everything away. So even if they were to, I guess, try to get something back, they don't have much to trade for to make a championship roster anymore, as they gave it all away for this lineup. Another thing is they really can't give away any of their players for the foreseeable future. Bradley Beal is on a 3-year no-clause contract, so, a no-trade clause, so he can't be traded for 3 years. Devin Booker, I doubt will leave, realistically. The Suns would like to keep him there as he's second best shooting guard, maybe the best shooting guard in the league. If you want to think Donovan Mitchell or Anthony Edwards is better, whatever. But he's one of the best shooting guards in the league. I doubt he'll leave. The one person who I think the Suns could afford to leave or trade is the 36-year-old Kevin Durant. But I don't think anyone's really going to want KD, as he's been a part of a recurring theme of just leaving misery from every place he leaves other than the Warriors, because they had Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green as well. Yeah. So overall, I think the Suns are a team that is currently in the biggest trouble. But next, I'm going to go with the Lakers. The Lakers, they lost 4-1 to the Denver Nuggets and almost got swept. LeBron James is 40 years old. He doesn't have maximum 2 years left, and he's already putting pressure on the Lakers once again to make a trade to get Donovan Mitchell, someone, Trae Young, I don't know, try to get someone, as he's using his GM powers once again, something he did mid-season with his cryptic Twitter posts and Instagram posts. But Lakers, Anthony Davis is very injury prone and kind of soft in the playoffs as he gets injured by literal air. So, And then LeBron James is also 40 years old. As I said, he has 2 years left maybe. And then the Lakers are kind of done with this era, so they need to either move on right now or, see if they can get anyone else over. But I don't think they'll be able to realistically trade for any huge star. Maybe if someone like Trae Young and Donovan Mitchell, as I mentioned previously, are, I guess, willing to be traded, but at this moment I doubt it. So the Lakers are probably going to have to try to get a rebuild going right now by trading away LeBron James with this pressure. So, yeah, that's about it. The next team on my list is going to be the 76ers. I think we all know the 76ers have the problem of having Joel Embiid. This year probably was by far Joel Embiid's best career playoff series. People will still obviously give him the treatment of, oh, he's a choker, whatever. I think he played pretty good this playoff series, but Jalen Brunson was just on a whole nother level. Also, Tyrese Maxey is also, is now a playoff proven player. He played very good in all of his games, even dropping a 50 bomb, I believe in game 3. if anyone, any of you guys want to fact check that, go ahead. But I believe he dropped a 50 bomb in one of the games. Sixers, they really have, I guess, a hit and miss with Buddy Hield. You need a shooter around Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey so they can't double one of them. But Buddy Hield is I feel like a bit too streaky for them, as it was shown in the playoff series on the first 5 games of the series around. He was on kind of like cruise control, not really, impacting the game. But on game 6, he exploded for like 9 3-pointers, which is insane. If they could get like another shooter to surround Joel Embiid, that'd be really nice for them, as they finally get past the second round of the playoffs potentially. But they are in a pretty stacked Eastern Conference, even though the Western Conference is more stacked. But they can, they need to make some moves around so they can utilize Joel Embiid when he is in his peak or his prime. The fourth team, I thought about this, and I was going between the Bucks, Clippers, and Pelicans. The Heat, I know people are gonna say them. Heat, I don't know what the Heat can do, to be honest. I know Jimmy Butler didn't play in their Celtics series, but I'm not really sure what they can do. We got the Bucks. The Bucks are in an interesting scenario, as they lost 4-2 to the Pacers, as we all know. But Damian Lillard was injured for one of the games, and Giannis, I don't think, played in the entire series. So it's a bit iffy whether Giannis is gonna stay and Dame is gonna stay, because as we know, Giannis had a lot of pressure on the Bucks last year to get another star player to support him, as he wanted to win now, and obviously they got Damian Lillard. But that didn't really work out this season. They fired their old head coach, hired Doc Rivers, and then lost in the first round. But again, they were missing both their star players in some of the games, and Giannis was absent in all of the games. So moving forward, the Bucks, I don't really know what they're gonna do. It really just depends on how the Stars feel about this. If they're willing to run it back, which I think Giannis will run it back, as it would really be unfair if he blamed the organization for his own injury, and I think he'll hold himself accountable for that. So I actually do think the Bucks will try to run it back this year, but something can always happen in the NBA. So our last couple teams are going to be the Magic, Pelicans, and Clippers. The Clippers, around the midseason, were the hottest team in the NBA. Everyone wanted to talk about the Clippers. And after a while, I feel like we started to see their flaws. They kind of died down a little bit. Kawhi Leonard still kept up, but he was, starting to get injured a lot, which really affected, I think, their playoff series against the Mavericks. Kawhi Leonard, I think, won when Kawhi Leonard was playing. The Mavericks lost. So, but obviously, Kawhi Leonard was only playing for one of the games. So, I think that personally, the Clippers have a lot to figure out. They have their 4 All-Stars. I mean, 2 of them past their primes, and then all 4 of them, I think, are really past their primes. But they have 4 aging All-Stars. They really need to figure out what they're going to do about it. They had a good team. As I said, mid-season, they were the hottest team in the league. And then they died down and fell off hard. But really, I don't know what the Clippers can do about their situation currently. Maybe the one thing that they did lack was a bit of Kawhi Leonard playing. Once he plays, I think they would have had a better chance of winning some of their games against the Mavericks, maybe even moved on. But Kawhi Leonard has not played in a long time, so I don't think it'll really be like that. So our final 2 teams on our list are going to be the Pelicans and Magic. The Magic have a really bright future ahead of them. I think this is one of the only teams that I can say confidently that they are fine. Obviously, they can use another shooter, but at this point, for this young of a Magic team to go this far is very impressive. And Paolo Banchero has proved himself to be an outstanding player. So I think it's really fun. They should be fine, I think, for the most part in the near future. So I'm not really afraid, I guess, for the Magic's future at this point in time. They're gonna have some ups and downs, obviously, but the one thing they could really use is a shooter to surround their team. They don't really have money for shooters. Jalen Suggs is a decent shooter, but he's not an amazing shooter. So a good shooter is something they could, I guess, ask for. But otherwise, I think they probably have they have a very bright future ahead of them. So our final team on our list is the Pelicans. Pelicans are in a bit of a weird spot where they have Brandon Ingram and Zion, who clearly don't really work together well at all. And I think personally they're gonna trade Brandon Ingram for a good point guard, someone who can really feed Zion the ball, let Zion do all of his work. And if Zion can stay off the eating portion, focus on basketball really, they can succeed. But I think that in the end they're gonna actually end up trading Brandon Ingram. So yeah. So those are my thoughts for every single NBA team and every single NBA team that lost in the first round, and what it means to them, what they're gonna do about it, and etc. like that. So thank you for listening. Another video next week. It'll be coming around about the finals, because conference finals are coming pretty soon enough. So yeah, and until then, peace.